Hey guys, arrow soup is definitely one of my favorite Cameroonian soups of all time. And if you're Cameroonian here, you agree with me that a deliciously cooked arrow soup served with gari or water fufu would definitely turn a bad day around. Arrow soup is super easy to make, especially if you get the recipe right. That's why I for one, geez, I love arrow soup. So keep watching, guys, if you want to know how I made mine. My name is Mercy Bliss, and I welcome you back to my kitchen. Let's cook together. For this recipe, I'll be using some dried arrow. This is what I could get where I'm at, but it makes no difference because my arrow soup is still going to be just perfect. If you have the fresh arrow leaves, it's a plus for you. It's a bonus for you. Also, I'll be using some water leaf. As you can see, I've already washed and sliced my water leaves here. I'll be using some beef as well. You can choose to boil, as I will do in a minute, or use the dried meat. I'll also be using some cow skin, popularly called CANDA in Cameroon. There's no arrow without CANDA. I'll also be using some crayfish and some dried fish. I love dry fish in my arrow. As you can see, I've got plenty of it right now. We'll also be using some palm oil. The quantity of palm oil is up to you. If you love your arrow with so much of it, so you can go ahead and add plenty. Also, I'll be using some cubes and some habanero peppers. Right, guys, what I'm holding here is actually called Carolina Reaper peppers. Let me tell you a short story. See, this pepper won 2017 Guinness record of the hottest pepper in this world. Guys, just one of it can actually cook a whole pot of soup. That's why you can't joke with it. I had to order this online. It was shipped to me. It's called Carolina Reaper peppers. Guys, we're going to be eating this arrow with gari because I don't have water fufu where I'm at. So, let's start cooking. We'll begin by cooking our proteins first. In a pot, I already have my meat, and to season, I'm adding some chopped onions, cubes. I'll add in some salt, some water, and some peppers, already blended peppers. And then I'll just allow these to boil and cook for about 20 minutes before adding the remaining obstacles, that is the CANDA and the fish. Adding my peppers. Give this a good stir. I'm going to cover this and allow it to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes before adding in my CANDA and fish. So 20 minutes later, I'm going to go ahead and add in my CANDA now, and then we add in our fish next, and then we allow this to cook for another 20 minutes, and then we're going to put that aside and then start cooking our meal. So in a pot, in a clean pot, I'm adding in my water leaf now. And to it, I'm going to add my arrow immediately because I'm using dry arrow. I don't want my arrow at the end of cooking to be too hot. So I'm adding in the water leaf and the arrow at the same time. If you're using fresh arrow, you can let the water leaf boil for about 5 minutes before adding in your arrow. But since I'm using dried arrow, I went ahead and added my water leaf and arrow at the same time. if you don't like your arrow too hard, too strong, make sure you're boiling both or cooking both at the same time. And while you're cooking your arrow, you have to make sure to stir it consistently, often, so that the water leaves and the arrow leaves are well incorporated. Few minutes later, see how my arrow looks like. I'm going to let it cook for another 2 to 3 minutes before adding in my palm oil. So at this point, I think my arrow is almost done. You can see I've still got some juice in it to make sure that the arrow keeps cooking even while I'm adding in the other ingredients. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and add in my palm oil. Give it a good stir. And then I'm going to add in my seasoning at this point. Our arrow is almost ready, guys. I told you it was so easy to cook. I'm adding in 3 cubes of African Maggi, some salt, I'll give this a good stir again, and then I'll allow the oil to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes before adding my peppers and protein. In goes my peppers, guys. The rippers in these. I just used one. Can you imagine? Just one ripper. And then I used 3 habanero peppers. To this, I'm going to add my protein. Guys, you have to make sure that there is enough obstacles in your arrow. Look at how that looks. There is no way you will resist eating fufu at any occasion. Now it's time for us to put in peppers. That is a Cameroon thing. We always just throw those peppers in there for anyone who wants more, the hotness. And then finally our crayfish. Give this a good stir. Brothers and sisters in the Lord, if your neighbors are not knocking at your door at this point to know what's popping, that means they have lost their sense of smell. This arrow was so delicious that I had to cook it 3 times on a row based on high demand from my friends and family here. I'm going to eat this with gari. Jesus. With a glass of wine. Just look at that. Jesus. This is good. So delicious. I already have my water on the stove. So let's make gari next. Look at that. Now that my water is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and add in my gari. Paprika, as it's popularly called in French. I'll cook this on low heat until I'll keep stirring until my fufu starts to harden in consistency. And when it hardens up, then you know it's ready. Just turn off your gas and serve your meal. Gari and arrow is ready, guys. Please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Please go and do so before you leave. Oh, please. It helps to grow my channel. Please. I'm begging you now. Thank you so much, and until my next video, I love you all and remain blessed.